Hi, it's Mike here from Swim Focus again. Today we're going to look a little bit about breathing. Now, breathing is one of probably the most challenging things to work on as a triathlete. We see all kinds of different things going on with the breath. We see tension in the breath from a new swimmer that's just holding all the power in there. Right? You tense up and you try to get a breath, you can't get a breath, and then swimming is just a terrible experience for you. So if that's the case, we've got all kinds of drills that we can help you with. Send us your video, we'll see that tension, we can work you through it. Okay? We also see just even mechanically breathing is done incorrectly, right? We see the head kind of lift up or turn to the side, right? Right now I'm teaching a bunch of little guys, right? And all of them are really wanting to lift their head up, right? So we spend a lot of time just working on just that turn. So when we go to take our breath, the turn is natural, we get our breath, we're not lifting our head, we're not carrying tension in it. And the last thing that we see in swimmers a lot is the timing of the breath, right? So the timing of the breath in relation with our stroke. If we're still trying to get a breath and our hands come in here, breath, 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 often you're going to end up putting water into your mouth. You're going to choke there, or the water's actually going to come up and splash you right here, or you're going to have a really funny timing with your hands going to be way out here. You're not going to be able to get that catch, right? So the breathing, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, and not to discourage you, but it's one of the more challenging things to fix. It takes time. Be patient, because a lot of the breath has to do with relaxation and confidence in the water. And when you're sucking back water, it's hard to be confident and relaxed in the water. Without question, it's a challenging thing. And everyone who learns how to swim as an adult is probably going to go through this tension, panic, fear of getting that nice calm breath, right? So congratulations that you can do it, or that you're trying to do it right now. You will be able to do it. Just take your time, be relaxed, don't rush it, don't panic. It'll come. Right? We can work on other things in the stroke. You can put a snorkel on. I've had people learn completely freestyle, still can't get a breath just with their snorkel. After a few months, pop the snorkel off, and lo and behold, their mechanics are good with the rotation of their body. And then all of a sudden they have the confidence and they can get a breath. Whereas if you just kind of stick to, I'm going to learn how to breathe today, I got to learn how to breathe today, and you try to learn, often you'll have that panic and it just won't happen. Okay, so let's take a look at some mistakes here, or some examples that we see. This is just my stroke here. I don't have a fantastic breath, but it's often late, and wherever it is, I guess it's this here. So we can see here, head is down, breathing to this side. My head's going to snap back. I have a touch of a late breath, but that's always been in my stroke. Head snaps back, and then my timing's actually pretty good after that point there. But the main takeaways here is that we want to make sure that our head isn't lifting. We have rotational balance. We have horizontal balance, right? So everything that we're working on in our body position is still there, right? So if we look here quickly, we have our head aligned here, hips aligned here, right? And then if we're in between there, we get that nice straight line. Hand isn't sinking, head isn't lifting, okay? So we go to press play, head comes back down, and we're right back into our swim stroke without losing any kind of power or anything like that. Okay, so I'm going to show you some examples of things that can go wrong, and then you'll be able to click on some drills just to the left there. Okay, thanks. Okay, so here's an example of just that kind of that tension, that panic that we have in the breath, and even still, we can see it even more in some early swimmers, but just that speed and that lift, right? That panic motion, you can see the tension in the neck. I'm lifting, turning my head, and there's all that tension and energy going into that breath, and I'm never going to be able to relax enough to actually be able to fill up my lungs and get a good breath there, right? So, and then I'm just going to be tired. I'm not going to be able to swim, right? So that's what we want to avoid completely. So let's just take a look at it one more time, and let's just see. All kinds of power, right? Too much power, trying to do two things. My neck is driving the rotation. My body's not driving the rotation, right? You can see I'm only rotating to one side. I'm not rotating both ways because my neck is doing that. It's not my body, right? We want the body to be able to do that. Okay, so that's huge tension here. Let's take a look at that. So this is when we're going to be lifting our head, right? So the front view is really cool in this. You can see the drag that's going to be resulting on this. So we're going to swim, and there's a breath there. Okay, look. We can see the horizontal balance and the rotational balance breaks. Because I'm lifting my head, my trunk is breaking, right? I can see here that my hips have sunk, right? So now my hips have sunk, my head is up, right? I'm going to create all kinds of drag. Okay, so let's take a look. As you're watching this video, watch to see how much drag is being created by my hips. There it is, hips sink down, right? Okay, come off, again, lift up, hips sink down, lift up, hips sink down, right? We see that kind of popping up and down. You imagine you're swimming at quite a fast speed, you lift up, your hips are gonna sink down, right? So these are things we wanna avoid at all costs. Okay, I'm gonna show you one more video. Okay, so this is kind of the timing idea. This is the breath that's far, far too late, and we're gonna see what happens to our body position. So here, breath here. You can see the hand drop down right away because the hand was trying to stabilize myself because I was sinking, right? Now you can see completely underwater, right? And we're sinking. Now I'm gonna probably end up getting water in my mouth. I'm gonna have some trouble here and watch myself try to get back into the stroke. It's just not gonna happen. Okay, hand sinks down, sink, okay? And that's even with a good catch up. When we see it in the pool a lot, we often don't see that catch up being able to hold that, right? So that hand right here will just continue into the stroke and we'll end up more with like a kind of a windmilly stroke rather than a catch-up stroke. This is just a demonstration of when you're taking the breath and being too late and what happens to our body alignment. You can see it too far over too, right? Completely lost my horizontal balance, or excuse me, my rotational balance, falling over onto my back, hand falls down, right? We completely lost that connection. Okay, so take a look at some of the videos on to the right on the drills. If this is something that you see in your own stroke, again, send us your video. We'll take a look and let you know what things are happening. Thanks.